We are on page 11 of your pink Unit 8 note packet. We just did a brief introduction to the idea of factoring, and what we're going to work on now is the identification of your greatest common factor. So first, let's do a little bit of practice, brush up on our GCF knowledge. So the greatest common factor, we also will call that GCF. And when we're looking for the GCF within polynomials or various monomials, what we really want to identify is what is the largest number, like constant, or variable with that same exponent that divides into all of the terms that you are given. So the first thing we're going to do is refresh our brains, and let's list out all of the factors. That means things that multiply to give us a product of the given numbers. So they gave us 39. That's 1 times 39. I also know that is 3 times 13. So I have 4 factors for 39. Then I can do 6. I have 1 times 6. And I also have 2 times 3. So now my job is to identify what are the values that are the same if we have any. We only have 1 here, so we know by looking at this list that the GCF, or our greatest common factor, would be 3. Now if we look at 24 and 28, now these have more factors in common. 24 is 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. 28, we have factors of 1 and 28, 2 and 14, 4 and 7. So we need to identify, again, anything that's in common. Both lists have a 2, and both lists have a 4. I don't have any other factors. So now of these factors that we've highlighted and identified, which ones are the greatest? Which would be larger? Well, 2 is less than 4. So that means 4 needs to be our greatest common factor. So let's take a look at letter C. Then we'll come back and do a couple different methods for you. I'm going to split these up into all of the various parts that we have. So we have 2 constants, 39 and 30. And then we also have variables. I'm going to split it up by the various monomials that we are given. So we are given 39v, and then we are also given that 30uv. So what we need to make sure we're doing is we need to identify all of the factors as much as we can, break it down into small pieces and terms. We already know all the factors of 39 from above in letter A. We have 1 times 39, and we have 3 times 13. For 30, we have 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. The only thing that's in both lists is 3. So now what we need to do is look at these variables. If I look just at the variables here and here, I can list those out as a v and a u times v. What does that have in common on both sides? Just a v. So I know that the greatest common factor consists of a 3 as my coefficient and a v as my variable.